Welcome to our thought-provoking discussion on the dying lakes and drowning cities. I'm your host Kabir Naqvi, and today we unravel the distressing truth behind vanishing lakes and their catastrophic effects on urban areas. We've seen the viral videos from last year, buses turning into hover ships and cars into motorboats, people having to wade through knee-deep water, uprooted trees, traffic snarls, dilapidated buildings, cities coming to a standstill, and life completely thrown out of gear. Let's not forget the tragic accidents and the lives these deluges have claimed, all because human greed, real estate pressures, and development against the cries of Mother Nature have taken over, and leaving nothing but public apathy year after year on display. Prepare to uncover the consequences of this encroachment, human greed, and the lack of proper sewage treatment. We'll dive into the indispensable role that water bodies themselves play in averting these floods, mitigating these floods, and investigate the impact of rapid concretization. Why are our cherished lakes disappearing across cities? Get down in the comment sections below, folks, as we explore the answers and engage in a compelling conversation about this urgent environmental crisis. You must have spoken to the real stakeholders on the ground, and we were just showcasing that particular graphic. I mean, you can see how, Karnataka is essentially green, but it suddenly, year after year, suddenly starts turning red. Red denoting the urbanization that has happened over there. You've spoken to some stakeholders. Are there some pragmatic solutions at play over here? In the face of this distressing situation, we're seeing floods every monsoon. The prices of certain vegetables go up, again throwing household budgets out of order as well. What are some pragmatic solutions that are really on the card?
Well, keeping the vegetables out of the debate. Why? Because this is more to do with restricting the human greed.
I just wanted to bring in certain factors, just to tell the viewers that it is actually a problematic situation.
Yeah. No, there is no debate about whether it is a problem or not. It is a problem. How and why we don't understand that increasing concretization and urbanization is adding to our own detriment. Why? Because the policy makers, even when they know, they don't take action to stop that process. For instance, the map that we are talking about from Bengaluru, where the open spaces lessen and whatever we can see. So the build-up area in red increases. So that particular thing is applicable to all metros. Delhi has the same problem, Hyderabad, and all these places were once known for lots and lots of lakes and water bodies.
Absolutely.
Delhi had once more than 1,000 water bodies. Unfortunately, today we are left with only 600 odd, that too. On paper 600, the government has agreed. Actually, if you look on ground, the condition is really pathetic. Sensitization needs on two counts. One, of course, the government, the authorities, the agencies that carry out, so to say, development of that water body. Why? Because so-called development, I would say. Why? Because for them, getting a paved path, getting some concrete structure in the very catchment of the lake is very important. Hundreds of environmental activists keep protesting, leave it like that. We can have a natural trail there, but not all people agree to it. That is one part. Second part is, even the common citizen are not that much aware. They also think the natural trail would be muddy when it's raining. Why not have a concrete trail? So these are very simple examples, and those translate later into mature greed. People cut colonies right up to the lake bed. I mean, in Delhi also we have those examples in Nazafgarh Jheel, and in across Bangalore and everywhere we have similar examples where either the government itself plans infrastructure project across these water bodies, or the people's greed does not stop them from building their houses right inside the lake bed. We have Bangalore's example from the Yemluru. It was one of the posh colonies, and it went 8 to 10 feet down water last year.
Says, what is the techie diaspora and what can they do in terms of improving the situation? Should they protest, collect funds, and give it to the BBMP for their own locality?
I'm afraid neither will help. There are plenty of activists already in Bengaluru who are talking a lot of sense. It is that the powers that be must, listen to the common sense recommendations which these activists are giving. And these, of course, pertain to our long-term future, to our sustainability, to our security, and not just the flooding, also the availability of water resources in the lean season. Remember that, say, water logging is really the converse of water harvesting. You have that water and you want to throw it out, or you want to let that water seep in. But the real problem is coming from the water which will lie on the surface because it cannot exit in a hurry. Okay. So now where does the techie come into that? Maybe they could develop, computer models which show which areas are getting more flooded, why are they getting more flooded, and, so on. But I don't see anything, which the activists have not already
Right.
suggested.
And at the same time, sir, looking at it from a city planner's point of view, what are some of the major challenges? Because let's understand, let's not put all the blame on these planners as well. I'm sure it's a difficult task to cut out, a new planned out city where in place you already have something that's existing beforehand. What are some of the challenges in this balancing act of urban development and sustainable development?
As I said earlier, respect for the topography is primary. Okay. Because water takes the path of least resistance, it flows from the higher area to the lower area. Now, these are, very simple matters to understand. And if you want to escape the flooding aspect, then you have to, not build in the low-lying areas. In fact, the, National Sustainable Habitats Mission, they have given you very clearly where you should build, where you should not build. There is, under the National Disaster Management Council, you have, injunctions, 11 injunctions on urban flooding, and quite a few of them deal with please don't build in low-lying areas. Okay, so that it's as simple as that. But the point is that do people in power listen to the planners? I am myself a planner, and I'm seeing that gradually the inputs of planners are less and less, listened to, and more it's the commercial interests, the monetary side of the decision, the criteria, monetary criteria, the commercial criteria, which is dominant. So if we don't have a balance between planners' concerns and the commercial concerns, then I'm sure I can assure you that we'll continue heading in the direction
So
that we are doing.
how do we promote this collaboration between government bodies, between various stakeholders and the planners? I mean, what's missing? What kind of reformation is needed?
A tough question there. I think they need to, communicate more with each other and give due respect to planners' concerns. Okay, it should not be that the commercial interests should be dominant. I'm telling you that in the case of the Najafgarh Jheel, which is on the north side of Gurugram, which is known as the Millennium City. Okay, planners have been overruled, and buildings have come up in low-lying zones of the Najafgarh Jheel, where their basements are flooded, not just in the monsoon or in intense rainfall even, but round the year. Okay, and yet they've got away with it. Now, this is basically commerce overruling planning and environmental concerns. So there must be a balance, and I think unless we have that balance, which can only come through regular, interaction and giving due respect to professionals. Unfortunately, I'm seeing that planners' voices are being quelled